So today we are going to see what is the Euler-Torsion function and what is the Euler's theorem. So please, we'll go through the Euler's theorem. All of you write down. Euler's theorem. Euler's theorem. So first write down the statement for the Euler's theorem and what the equation related with the Euler's theorem. Okay, and then we'll see there are some cases to understand this Euler's theorem. So there are total 3 cases are there, and already few of the cases we have, that means 2 cases we have already seen in the RSA algorithm. Okay, so we'll go one by one. So write down all of you the statement about the Euler's theorem and the equation for that. It states that for every A in the curly bracket, in this particular double quotation, please write down small a and n. It states that for every a and n that are relatively prime, relatively prime here it means their GCD should be 1. The GCD of a comma n, that means bracket mein you can write down the GCD of a comma n should be 1. Relatively prime का मतलब होता है their GCD a comma n should be 1. Okay, so it states that for every a comma n that are relatively prime, the equation for the Euler's theorem we are writing down, that is a to the power of phi of n. A to the power of phi of n is equals to 1 mod of n. A to the power of phi of n is equals to 1 mod of n. Put this into the box. This is Euler's theorem. A to the power of phi of n is equals to 1 mod of n, where phi of n already you know is Euler's totient function, where phi of n is Euler's totient function, and it is the that is phi of n, that is Euler totient function. It is the count of numbers which are relatively prime, to small n. Those are relatively prime to small n. Those less than n. So this is the Euler's theorem. Okay, so we'll see what is this. It states that for every a and n, so you have two numbers, that is a and n. You have two numbers and they are relatively prime, that means their GCD should be 1. And if they are relatively prime, I can write down under the Euler's theorem, a to the power of phi of n is equals to 1 mod of n, where phi of n is Euler's totient function, which already we have seen, and it is now here in the RSA. I have told you how do you get the Euler's totient function, but I haven't told you what is the definition of Euler's totient function. What is the definition? It is the count of numbers I have to count how many numbers are there. So it is a count of numbers which are relatively prime to n, but those less than n. Those less than n. If you remember, मैंने बताया था 5 of 10. 5 of 10. आपने लिखा था 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you have seen the factors of 10, that is 5 into 2. Then we have seen 2 का table में which are the numbers we are striking it down. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. And for 5 also we are striking it out. So it's 5 and 10. And we are counting the numbers which are relatively prime. So the numbers are 1, 3, then 7 and 9. So 1, 3, 7, 9 are the relatively prime to n, which are relatively prime to n, but those less than n. So n here, n is equals to 10. I want to find the number of relatively prime numbers. How many such numbers are there? And their total count is your totient function. So how many are there? 1, 3, 7 and 9. So how many? 4. So answer comes to be 4. What you will say about 1, 3, 7 and 9? You will say 1, 3, 7 and 9 are the relatively prime numbers. That means 1 और 3 का लो, 1 और 7 का लो, 1 का 9 का लो, 3 या 7 का लो, 3 या 9 का लो, या फिर 7 और 9 का लो. आप कोई भी दो कॉम्बिनेशंस लो, उनका GCD 1 होता है. That is why they are called as relatively prime. आप कौन से भी दो नंबर ले लो इसमें से, their GCD is 1. GCD is 1. So I want such numbers, and how many such numbers are there? They are total 4. So 4 is the totient function. So 4 is the totient function for 10. 4 is the totient function for 10. So this example I have already taken you. I have explained you how to get the totient function. Even I have told you how to get the totient function of the prime number. Okay. So that prime number we are going to understand in this under the 3 different cases. तब आपको समझ में आएगा कि what are the 3 different cases. जिसमें से एक केस हमने already ली है. वो कौन सी केस थी? To find the totient function of the prime number. Okay. So we'll see all the cases. So total there are 3 cases. We'll see one by one to understand this particular Euler's theorem. Okay. So once you get the totient function, you keep this totient function here. That is a to the power of phi of n. Okay. Because in this particular equation, which are the unknown numbers? The known numbers are a and n, and the unknown number is phi of n. So once you get phi of n, you have to put up the value of phi of n, and you will get a to the power of that number is equals to 1 mod of n. So this is Euler's theorem, and I have explained you what is the totient function. Yes, any question in doubt?
GCD of 3 and 9 is not 1 in this 1, 3, 7 and 9.
What? GCD of 1 and 9?
3 and 9. 3 and 9.
3 and 9. 3 3s are 9, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. GCD is not 1. एक minute. This is phi of 10 is right. Phi of 10 is right. Sorry, phi of 10 is equals to 4. That is right.
Yes, sir.
So yes. Wait. 1, 3, 7, 9. We should take 2 and 5. 2 and 5. What is the GCD of 2 and 5?
1, sir.
Okay. Wait. We want the phi of n. Here n is equals to 10. Okay. Tell me the GCD of 10 and 1.
1, sir.
10 and 3.
1.
10 and 7.
1.
10 and 9. 10 and 9.
1.
10 and 2.
5. 2.
5.
Yes.
0.
Yes. 0. It should be 0. 10 and 4.
2, I guess.
So I just want the GCD of 10 and 4 is 1 or no? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
10 and 5,
No.
10 and 6,
No.
10 and 7,
Yes.
Yes.
10 and 8,
No.
No.
10 and 9,
Yes.
Yes.
10 and 10.
No.
So can I say I should find out the total number of co-prime numbers whose GCD with the number 10 should come 1. So how many such numbers are there? 4. Yes. So while explaining, I have just missed out that I should say that 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 7 and 9,
With 10.
they form the GCD with 10 as 1.
10.
Am I right
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you are right. Thanks for correcting me. Please mark this. This is important. That was wrong. The GCD of 1 and 10, 1. GCD of 3 and 10, 1. GCD of 7 and 10, 1. GCD of 9 and 10, 1. That means the relatively prime numbers. So these are the relatively prime numbers. And such numbers कितने हैं? 4. ऐसे numbers कितने हैं? 4. You are right. So 5 of 10 comes to be 4. 5 of 10 comes to be 4. Okay. Now we will see the number of cases. Case number 1. And this is important. You can just underline those less than n. Those less than n. Those less than n. तो ये जो हम काउंट कर रहे हैं ना, तो इसमें हमने 10 नहीं लिया तो भी चलता है. ये भी एक बात याद रखना. मैं लिखते समय 1 से 10 लिखता हूँ, लेकिन लेस देन 10 चाहिए मुझे, तो हम 9 तक रख के छोड़ सकते हैं. ओके. So because already 10 with 10 will be GCD will not be the 1. Okay, 10 and 10 GCD will not be 1. So I can neglect this 10, and I want the number less than n, that is less than 10 only. Okay, so we'll go over case one by one. So write down case number 1. Case number 1. Case number 1. Already you know this. Case number 1 is if n is prime number. If n is prime number. Yes, tell me. Phi of n is equals to
P minus 1 into Q minus 1.
N minus 1.
Yes, it is n minus 1. आपने जो बोला ना वो next case है. I will tell you what is that. Okay. So phi of n, where n is a prime number, directly I can write phi of n is equals to n minus 1. For example, you can just write down example phi of 7 is equals to 7 minus 1 is equals to 6. You can cross check. वो जो मैंने बताया था ना phi of 10 के बारे में जैसे करना है वैसे आप क्रॉस चेक कर सकते हो. So phi of 7 is equals to 7 minus 1 is equals to 6. Okay. So this is a simple case. This is a simple case. This is a simple case. We'll go directly with the case number 2. We'll go with the case number 2. And the case number 2 says that if n is a product. Now this is what you have said. Okay. If n is a product of two primes, that is P and Q. If n is a product of two prime numbers, that is P and Q. That is P and Q. Then phi of n is equals to. Then phi of n is equals to that is phi of P into phi of Q. Phi of P into phi of Q is equals to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. P minus 1 into Q minus 1. P minus 1 into Q minus 1. Okay. So for this, you can take an example. For this, you can take this example as example phi of 21. Phi of 21. Phi of 21 is equals to, I can have a product of this as a, into two prime numbers, that is phi of 7 into phi of 3. Phi of 7 into phi of 3 is equals to 7 minus 1 into 3 minus 1. So it is 6 into 2. So it is equals to 12. Is equals to 12. So if you want to cross check, again, write the numbers from 1 to 20. Write the numbers from 1 to 20 and see that it is a factor of 7 into 3. So 7 के multiples cross करना है, 3 के multiples को cross करना है, and the total numbers, relatively prime numbers हमको जो मिलेंगे, okay, then you will have to count and you will see that it will come to 12. So it comes to be 12. So this is case number 2. Case number 2. Then comes case number 3. Case number 3. Case number 3 says that, write down, if n is not prime. अब ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि n will be a prime. If n is not prime. If n is not prime. As well as it is not product of two prime or two primes, product of two primes, then that means if the number doesn't fall in case 1 and if it doesn't fall in case 2, so in such condition you have the third case, which is the last case. Okay, so in that case, how do you get the phi of n? How do you get the phi of n? Where n is not a prime number as well as it is not the product of two prime numbers. In that case, then if n is equals to p to the power of e, if n is equals if n is equals to 2 to the power p to the power of e, where if n is equals to p to the power of e, where p is prime, then so obviously when n doesn't fall in case 1 and case 2, in that case we have to write down n in such a way that it should be p to the power of e, where p is a prime number, okay. So we have to write down, or we have to represent n in the form of p to the power of e. Then we will get phi of n. Is equals to p to the power of e minus p to the power of e minus 1, and keep this in the box. Phi of n is equals to p to the power of e minus p to the power of e minus 1. P to the power of e minus p to the power of e minus 1. And the best example I can give is take the example of phi of 8. Phi of 8. Now here 8 has to be replaced because 8 is not a prime number and it cannot be represented by in the product of two prime numbers. So 8 is not a prime number as well as it cannot be represented into the product of two prime numbers. In such case, you have to represent this 8 in the form of prime to the power of. Okay, so I can write down phi of 8 is equals to 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3. Okay, so 2 to the power of 3. So can I say 2 is a prime number? Yes. So if 2 is a prime number, and if I want to find the quotient function of 8, and I have expressed in the form of 2 to the power of 3, where 2 is a prime number, then directly you can write down 2 to the power of 3 here, p to the power of e minus p to the power of e minus 1, minus 2 to the power of e minus 1, that is 2. So 2 to the power of 3, 8. 8 minus 2 to the power of 2, 4. Answer comes to be 4. Answer comes to be 4. And here we'll cross check and we'll write down something. I will drop this part. I will cross check with this answer because this is a smaller number. Okay, and you will also have a practice of this. So phi of 8 is how much? So you write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will not write down 8. So 2 can be represented as 2 into 4. 2 into 4. Okay. So 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. Okay. And nothing, 4 already we have cut. Okay. So the remaining numbers are 1, 3, 5 and 7. 1, 3, 5 and 7. 1, 3, 5 and 7. Okay. So total numbers are 4. So such total numbers are 4. Okay. 4. 4 लिखने के बाद just write down. 4 लिखने के बाद just write down. 4 लिखने के बाद नीचे लिखो numbers relatively prime with numbers relatively prime with 8. Numbers relatively prime with 8 are 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, and the total count is 4, and the total count is 4, and the total count is 4, and the total count is 4. ओके, तो जब आप phi of 8 is equals to 4 लिखते हो तो उसका मतलब ये है कि numbers relatively prime with 8 are 1, 3, 5, 7 and the count is 4, and the count is 4. That is the meaning of phi of 8. That is the meaning of phi of 8. और 1, 3, 5, 7 का मतलब मैंने बताया 8 और 1 का GCD 1, 3 और 8 का GCD 1, 5 और 8 का GCD 1, 7 और 8 का GCD 1. That is the meaning of this. Okay. So total 3 cases we have seen. Again I am repeating. Case 1, if the number is prime, n. Case 2, if the number n is represented in the form of product of two prime numbers. And number 3, that is if the number n doesn't fall in case 1 and case 2, then in that case express that number in the form of n is equals to p to the power of p, where p is the prime number, and you can directly write down phi of n is equals to p to the power of e minus p to the power of e minus 1. Can any one of you tell me out of these 3 cases which case we have used in RSA? Yes, out of these
Second
3.
case.
Second case. Okay.
Case
So
2.
we have Case 2. So we have used the case 2 in your RSA. We have used the case 2 in RSA. So you can write down the note as K2 is used, note likho. Case 2 is useful. Case 2 is useful in RSA algorithm. 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 Okay. So we have seen the three cases. Okay. Now come back to the Euler's theorem. Come back to the Euler's theorem. नोट लिखने के बाद लिखो, उसके नीचे लिखो. Now after calculating Euler's torsion function phi of n, now after calculating Euler's torsion function phi of n, comma, put the value of phi of n in Euler's theorem. Put the value of phi of n in Euler's theorem. And thus we get a to the power of phi of n mod of n is equals to 1. A to the power of phi of n mod of n is equals to 1. So if you multiply both left and right with mod of n, you will have a to the power of phi of n mod of n is equals to 1. That is the Euler's theorem. This is the Euler's theorem. This is the Euler's theorem. This is the Euler's theorem. Okay. So if the question is asked, actually, in the RSA algorithm, we are actually using the second case of Euler's theorem. Okay. And also the Fermat's theorem is also used in RSA. Fermat's theorem is to get the modulo of a number. क्योंकि हमने last lecture में देखा था, previous lecture में देखा था, how do you get the calculations? So in the Fermat's theorem, I have told you, for example, 2 to the power of 16 mod of 17. So how do you get the direct answers instead of going with the calculations using the calculator? Okay. So 2 to the power of 16 mod of 17. Then we have seen 2 to the power of 50 mod of 17. How do you convert that 2 to the power of 15 into the number so that it comes to be 2 to the power of 16 mod 17? Okay, and so forth. We have also seen that 4 to the power of 532 mod of 11. So these are the examples or the Fermat's theorem which are actually is implemented in the RSA. Okay, so I can say in RSA Fermat's theorem is used as well as case 2 of the Euler's theorem is used, in which you also have to understand the Euler's torsion function, and Euler's torsion function is a part of the Euler's theorem. Euler's torsion function is a part of the Euler theorem. Okay, so we have gone with the Euler torsion function. We have explained each and everything. We have seen the Euler's theorem. Okay, we have also seen the Fermat's theorem. Okay, now one more theorem is left, that is Chinese remainder theorem. So we'll also see the Chinese remainder theorem, and some of the problems we'll solve afterwards. Okay, once you are gone with the Chinese remainder theorem. Chinese remainder theorem. Remainder. Okay, remainder is important word in this. So write down Chinese remainder theorem. शॉर्ट में इसको बोलते हैं CRT, और ये आपके प्रैक्टिकल्स में भी है. CRT is there in the practical also. So using Scilab, we are going to implement this CRT. In the Scilab, using Scilab software, we are going to implement this CRT. So we'll see what is this Chinese remainder theorem. So what I will do, before explaining the Chinese remainder theorem, we will try to understand the concept of Chinese remainder theorem with an example. Then it will be more useful for you to understand the Chinese remainder theorem. Here, Chinese remainder theorem mein, this remainder is the important word. Okay, so we'll see with an example first, then we'll try to understand what is Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, or how do you get the solution by using CRT? How do you use the solution using CRT? Okay, using CRT. So we'll see first the example, and we'll try to get the solution by using CRT. By using CRT. Okay, so the example is, write down x congruent to 2 mod of 3. मैं बताता हूँ what is this. Then x congruent to 3 mod of 5, and x congruent, this is said as congruent, equal को ऐसा और एक अगर आता है तो congruent. So x congruent to 2 mod 7, modulo 7. So we'll actually see what is this, how do you implement the CRT? Okay, we'll also see that what is the meaning of congruent. What do you mean by congruent? Which is given by 3 lines. Equal में हम क्या लिखते हैं? सिर्फ 2 लाइन लिखते हैं. But here we are writing down 3 lines. So we'll see what is this 3 lines. Okay. Now this is the problem given to you. Okay, this is the problem given to you. What is the meaning of this problem? I will let you know. Okay, what is the meaning of this problem? We'll let you know. First we will see what is this congruent. What is this congruent? Okay, what is this congruent? So somewhere just write down the note. इसके नीचे एक note लिखो. Write down the note. Now this note you will be writing down with respect to the RSA algorithm. अब RSA algorithm ने हमने क्या किया था? To find the value of D, that is the private key. Okay, now in the note write down to find private key, to find private key given by small d, to find private key D, which is used at the decryption site. To find the private key D, which is used at the decryption side, at a decryption side. Now you know the equation for D. The D. But how do you get that D? Just see here. इसके बाद लिखो assume D such that ये काम करना, to find private key D which is used at the decryption side in RSA algorithm. Assume D such that मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ, such that, see here, D congruent to, or this is also called as, यहाँ पे arrow लिखो, what is this? This is congruence modulo. congruence modulo such that d congruence to e to the power of -1 mod of phi of n mod of phi of n. Okay, so remember now that we have assumed d such that अभी आपने जो RSM equation लिखा था, now we are actually getting to that equation. वो equation में equal to था. Here I am using congruence, so congruence modulo. Actually this congruence modulo is used whenever I am using mod of phi of n, whenever I use mod of phi of n. Okay, and we have assumed that d congruence modulo as e to the power of -1 mod of phi of n. Now after this, I'm rubbing this down portion, and after this if I multiply both the sides, or if I apply, write down now, ये लिखने के बाद नीचे लिखो, उसके बाद apply mod operation to both the sides, apply mod operation to both the sides. Then अब क्या होता है? See here now what happens? This is e to the power of -1, that is nothing but 1 by e. I am taking e to the left hand side, so it becomes d into e mod of. Now apply mod operation. Your mod is mod of phi of n, so multiply mod of phi of n to both the sides, left and right. So d into e mod of phi of n equals to अब ये मल्टीप्लाई होने के बाद ये भी इधर चला गया, तो इट बिकम्स 1 into mod of phi of n. Otherwise we'll do one thing. If you multiply this mod of phi of n into the mod of phi of n, okay, it will be 1 mod of phi of n. So modulo of phi of n into modulo of phi of n is mod phi of n, single phi of n. Now can you see the congruence modulo sign has been converted into equal sign. So this happens when both this multiplying mod operation to left and right. So when you multiply here, it becomes d into e mod of phi of n, and here 1 into mod of phi of n. That is mod of phi of n into mod of phi of n is equals to single mod of phi of n. Okay, and lastly I can write down d into e mod of phi of n is equals to 1. So 1 into mod of phi of n, that is nothing but 1. dE mod of phi of n is equals to 1. d into e mod of phi of n is equals to 1. So this is the equation what already we have written. This is the equation which already we have seen in the RSA algorithm. Okay, आप ये भी कर सकते हो. Now it's better, let me make it more easy. Applying mod operation to both the sides. Okay, now when you multiply mod of phi of n into mod of phi of n, okay, you do one thing, this will be 1, then it will be easy. Okay, so it will be dE mod of phi of n is equals to 1. Now actually this congruence is related with the modulo operation, and whenever you multiply both the sides with the mod function, then this congruence is converted into equal sign. Actually this congruence is not part of the syllabus, but just to explain you. Okay, अब यहाँ पे भी क्या है, we are going to see. Now here it is given congruence to mod of 3. Now what is the actual significance of this congruence, we are going to see here now. इसका significance क्या है, मैंने सिर्फ आपको बताया कि this congruence, okay, and how it is converted into equal sign by multiplying both the sides by mod function. Okay, and when you multiply both the sides with mod function, it is dE mod of phi of n is equals to 1, which already we have implemented in the RSA algorithm to find the value of d. Now we are seeing the significance of congruence. Now we'll see the significance of congruence and what is the actual example or what is the meaning of this problem. What is the meaning of this problem? Okay. Now we'll see what is the meaning. We'll see what is the meaning now. Then it will be more clear. Now see the meaning of this. Pay attention. This is important. X congruence to 2 mod 3. X congruence to 3 mod 5. X congruence to 2 mod 7. Now here actually I want to find the value of X. Actually I want to find the value of X. The value of X. The value of X should be such that, pay attention what I am saying. The value of X should be such that the remainder should be 2. The remainder should be 2. When we divide X by 3, the remainder should be 3. When you divide X by 5, the remainder should be 2. When you divide X by 7. Okay. So I am writing down here. You can also write down. We want to find the value of X such that the remainder, see, because of this remainder it comes to be Chinese remainder theorem, such that the remainder should be 2 when X is divided by 3 and अभी मैं और नहीं बोल रहा हूं, सिर्फ एक कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं होनी चाहिए, बाकी के 2 कंडीशंस भी है, ये तो मैंने सिर्फ इसके लिए बोल रहा है, बाकी के 2 भी कंडीशंस है। 2 कंडीशंस क्या है? एंड remainder should be 3 when X is divided by 5. और नहीं बोल रहा हूं, फिर से and similarly you can write down and remainder should be 2. Remainder should be 2 when X is divided by 7. 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 Okay. So this is the problem now. Now I hope you have understood the problem. Problem क्या है? Problem statement क्या है? हमको solution क्या निकालना है? हमारे पास क्या दिया है? हमको क्या निकालना है? Okay. हमें निकालना है X which is common. And I want to find the value of X such that when you divide X by 3, remainder 2, X by 5, remainder 3, X by 7, remainder 2. Okay. So this is a problem and we'll see the how to solve this. But before solving this, there is a condition. There is a condition that whenever you solve such type of problem or whenever it is given, you have to see that 3, 5 and 7, they are the co-prime numbers or their GCD should be 1. That means 3 and 5 GCD 1, 5 and 7 is GCD 1 and 3 and 7 GCD 1. अगर ये ऐसा है तभी we will be able to implement the Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, Chinese remainder theorem. So mostly the questions will be given such that they will fall into the co-prime numbers. ऐसा नहीं देगा कि कोई co-prime number नहीं है तो भी आपको question दिया है. Then the question becomes wrong. Okay, they will give you the question such that these numbers are co-prime or the relative prime numbers. That means their GCD is 1. Their GCD is 1. Okay, so you can write down the solution. I hope you have understood this problem now. The problem statement. Now we'll go to understand the solution for this. How to get this solution by using the Chinese remainder theorem. And we'll be using this in your practicals also. Okay. So we'll see how do you get this. So as you know that as 3, 5, 3, 5 and 3, 7 and 5, 7 are co-primes co-prime, that is their GCD, that is their GCD is equals to 1. That is their respective, that is their respective GCDs. Their respective GCDs are 1. Okay. If this is condition is fulfilled, then we can solve this. Now see, how do you solve this now? Pay attention, this is important. This is important. Once you should be able to understand how do you go through this. Okay. Now I want the value of x. Okay. I want the value of x. अगर देखो, अगर एक ही चीज दी रहती थी तो इट वाज नॉट सो डिफिकल्ट, लेकिन इनको क्या चाहिए? एक x चाहिए जो कॉमन है, लेकिन वो x ऐसा चाहिए कि x by 3 करो तो रिमाइंडर 2, 5 by x करो, सॉरी x by 5 करो तो रिमाइंडर 3, 7 x by 7 करो तो रिमाइंडर 2. So because of 3 different conditions, okay, it becomes complicated. अगर एक रहता था तो it was not so difficult. So we have to do, how do you, what is your approach now? See here, the approach is that now as we have, will not write on mod, as we have 3 conditions given, okay, 3 conditions, okay, so we'll take first plus second plus third, okay, first plus second plus third. First condition is for mod 3, second condition is for mod 5, and third one is for mod 7. Okay, so how I will get, as they have given 3 conditions for mod 3, mod 5 and mod 7, so I will have the final answer in terms of this plus this plus this plus this. Now whenever I want to consider this mod 3, whenever I have to consider this mod 3, pay attention what I am saying. Whenever I have to consider this mod 3, you have to neglect this term and this term. You have to neglect this term and this term. So to do that, if I want to consider this first term, I have to neglect these 2 terms. That means I have to make these 2 terms as 0. So in that case, the first term will be there. Then the second term will be multiplied by 3. The second term will be multiplied by 3. Second and third. So when you multiply this 3, the second term, and the third term also multiplied by 3, then we can neglect second and third, only considering first one. Similarly, अभी एक का हो गया, अभी second का क्या? If I want to consider the second term, I have to ignore first and third. So if I want to ignore first and third, that time you have to multiply by 5, first term and third term. So if I multiply by 5, then it becomes 5 into plus. Okay. So here, if I have to multiply this and this term, okay. So if I'm considering the second term, multiply this and this term. So this is 5 into, because nothing is there, 3 will be the same as it is because इसको multiply नहीं करना है, and इसको multiply करना है. So it becomes 3 into 5. Okay. Again मैं बता रहा हूँ, अगर पहला टर्म को मुझे कंसीडर करना है, दूसरे को मुझे निगलेक्ट करना है, तो मल्टीप्लाई सेकंड एंड थर्ड टर्म बाय 3, तो 3 into and 3 into. अभी ये हो गया. अभी सेकंड टर्म को मुझे अगर कंसीडर करना है, देन आई हैव टू निगलेक्ट फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड टर्म. इन दैट केस मल्टीप्लाई फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड टर्म बाय 5. सो इट इज 5 into, यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं था तो कुछ भी नहीं है, इसको तो मल्टीप्लाई करना नहीं है, इसको मल्टीप्लाई करना है तो पहले ऑलरेडी 3 था, तो 3 into 5. ओके. नाउ अब ये कौन सा बचा है? लास्ट टर्म बचा है. Now if I want to consider this last term, you have to multiply the first and second term by 7. Okay, so it becomes 5 into 7 plus 3 into 7. यहाँ पे मैं इंटू नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि इसको मल्टीप्लाई नहीं करना था सेकंड स्टेप में. तो 3 into 7 plus 3 into 5. 3 into 5. So finally, अभी मैं क्या करता हूँ? Okay, I will write it down here. So finally, it is 5 into 3, 35, plus 3 into 7, 21, plus 3 into 5, that is 15. That is 15. Okay. So we have got x is equals to 35 plus 21 plus 15. Ultimately, by doing these 1, 2, 3 steps. Step number 1, consider the first term, multiply second and third term by 3. Second step, consider the second term, multiply the first and third term by 5. So 5 into 5. Last step, consider the last term and multiply the first and second term by 7. So 7 into 7, यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं. So 5 into 7, 35, 3 into 7, 21, and 3 into 5, 15. Okay? Yeah, ऐसा करने के बाद क्या होता है? You will understand gradually. Okay? 35 plus 21 plus 15. अभी हमको तुरंत इसको ऐड नहीं करना है. अभी मुझे क्रॉस चेक करना है. अभी मैं क्रॉस चेक कैसे करूंगा? सी है. I hope you have written this. Okay? I am rubbing the down portion. Otherwise, I will. मैं यहाँ पे ये करता हूँ. I will rub here. Now see here. Now I need to cross check now. I need to cross check. Okay. Now let me take the mod 3. जो पहले वाला था ना, the first वाला mod 3 वाला. That is x congruent to 2 mod 3. Now I will take first mod 3 now. If I am taking mod 3, then it is nothing but x mod of 3. And you have got x is equals to 35 plus 21 plus 15. If I do that, then it becomes 35 mod. See carefully, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? 35 mod of 3 plus 21 mod of 3 plus 15 mod of 3. 15 mod of 3. अभी देखो क्या हो रहा है. प्लीज पे अटेंशन. अभी देखो क्या हो रहा है. 35 mod of 3. कोई बताओ मुझे क्या है इसका आंसर?
2.
Yes, 2. अभी here आपने लिखा रिमाइंडर जो 2 आया है. 35 divided by 3, the remainder is 2. लिखते समय हम लिखते हैं 2 mod 3. अबे 2 mod 3 का मतलब ये 2 है. 2 mod 3 का मतलब ही 2 है, लेकिन लिखते समय हम लिखेंगे 2 mod 3. अब मुझे बताओ 21 mod 3.
0.
Yes. 15 mod 3.
0.
Yes. अभी देखा इसका मतलब क्या है? अगर मुझे पहला टर्म चाहिए तो सेकंड और थर्ड को मुझे मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ता है 3 से. लेकिन यहाँ तक खत्म नहीं हुआ है. मुझे अगर सेकंड टर्म चाहिए, फर्स्ट और थर्ड को मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ता है 5 से, वो जो मैंने सेकंड स्टेप में किया. लेकिन यहाँ पे भी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. मुझे थर्ड टर्म चाहिए तो फर्स्ट और सेकंड टर्म को मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ता है 7 से. तो ये सब करने के बाद लास्ट में जो आता है 35 प्लस 21 प्लस 15, और वो जब मैं पुटअप करता हूँ क्रॉस वेरीफाई करने के लिए, तो यू आर गेटिंग 2 mod 3. जो टेल मी, आपके जो प्रॉब्लम में भी दिया था वो 2 mod 3 था ना? यस और नो? 2 mod 3 था ना वो? यस और नो?
Yes, sir.
यस. जो पहले वाला कॉन्ग्रुएंस था x कॉन्ग्रुएंस 2 mod 3, तो हमको वैसे ही मिला है 2 mod 3. ये हमने सिर्फ चेक किया है फर्स्ट के लिए. नाउ लेट मी चेक फॉर mod 5. ये mod 5 के लिए, सॉरी mod 3 के लिए चेक किया, सक्सेसफुल हो गया. अब ये mod 3 के लिए चेक करने दो. लेट mod 3 हो गया, mod 5. mod 5 के लिए क्या था आपका? x mod of 5. Okay. So x mod of 5. So you can write down x as that is 35 mod of 5 plus 21 mod of 5 plus 15 mod of 5. 15 mod of 5. Yes, tell me, pehla term.
0.
Yes. Plus second term.
1.
That is 1. So I can say it is 1 mod 5. Okay. 21 mod of 5. I can say it is 1 mod of 5. So it is 1 mod of 5 plus this one.
0.
Yes. 0. देखा मैंने दोनों को 0 किया by multiplying the second one. If you remember, ये first term और second term 0. So it is 1 mod of 5. मुझे क्या चाहिए? प्रॉब्लम में क्या दिया है? मुझे क्या चाहिए?
3 mod of 5.
Yes, I want 3 mod of. I want 3 mod of. So can I multiply by 3? So if I multiply by 3, so 3 into 1 mod of 5. So can I say I have to multiply by 3? If I want to multiply by 3, okay, so that it becomes 3 mod of 5. So it becomes 3 mod of 5. So I have to multiply by 3. So if I want to multiply by 3, if I have to multiply by 3, then what you will do? You will multiply the second term. You will multiply, sorry, not this. You will multiply the second term by 3. You will multiply the second term by 3. Okay. Now, if I multiply the second term by 3, I'm going to rub the above portion. If I want to multiply by the second term by 3, not first and second, because first and last is already 0. I have to multiply the second term by 3. Okay. So if I multiply the second term by 3, tell me the answer. So it will become x mod of 5 is equals to, that is 21 into 3 mod of 5. So it comes to be 63 mod of 5. Tell me 63 mod of 5.
3.
Yes, it is 3. Can I say 3 mod of 5? 3 mod of 5 का मतलब भी 3 है. So I can write down 3 mod of 5 जो हमको second में दिया, second problem statement में दिया. Okay, second problem statement में दिया. Okay, so tell me the final x, not final x. अब तक मुझे चेक करना है तीसरे के साथ. So can I say your x becomes now 35? Yes, tell me. Plus
63.
Yes, plus
15.
yes. So x has become 35 plus 63 plus 50. लेकिन मुझे और x के साथ चेक करना है. अभी वो जो लास्ट वाला बाकी है, that is mod of 7. Mod of 7. Okay, I will take more. ठीक है, टाइम हो गया है. Just 2 or 3 minutes. Now let, अभी लास्ट में चेक करना है mod of 7 के साथ. Mod of 7 के साथ. So therefore x mod of 7 equals to 35 mod of 7 plus 63 mod of 7 plus 15 mod of 7. बताओ 35 mod of 7.
0.
0.
Second term.
0.
0.
Third term.
1.
Yes. So can I say it is 1 mod of 7? मुझे क्या चाहिए? See your problem.
2 mod of 7.
Yes. 2 mod of चाहिए ना? So multiply by 2. So 2 into 1 mod of 7 is equals to 2 mod of 7. So what I have to do? I have to multiply the third term by 2. I have to multiply the third term by 2. So tell me, now can I say now this is the final one? Yes, the final one. Yes. Now if I do the multiplication of 2 with the last term, tell me the final x. So the x becomes 35 plus 63 plus, yes, Yes, tell me the
30.
answer. Yes,
30.
30. Yes. अभी मैं ऐड कर सकता हूँ सबको, अभी मैं ऐड कर सकता हूँ. Tell me the final x now.
128.
Yes, 128. It is 128. Now we'll cross check. We'll cross check now. All of you, please check now. All of you cross check. Okay. X is 128. Okay. या फिर हाँ x की वैल्यू है 1, x की वैल्यू है 128. x की वैल्यू is 128. So 2 mod of 3. 2 mod of 3. That means 128 divided by 3. 128 divided by 3. Tell me the remainder.
2.
Yes.
2.
Tell me 128 divided by 5.
3.
Yes. Tell me 128 divided by 7. Tell me the remainder.
2.
Yes. So can I say x is the final value which you have got, which is satisfying all the 3 conditions? Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. अभी अगर एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है, tell me the different values of x. Tell me the different values of x. So for that, what you have to do, the simple thing is that 3 into 5 into 7. 3 into 5 into 7, it comes to be 105. It comes to be 105. Okay. So once you do 128 minus 105, and next time you do 128 plus 105. So if you 128 minus 105, it comes to be 23, and 128 plus 105, it gives 233. 233. So I can write down the different values of x. You can also cross check. The different values of x will be 23, जो यहाँ से मिला 23, then comes 128, comma, then comes 233, comma. Can any one of you tell me the next number? अगर क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि डिफरेंट वैल्यूज ऑफ x, it is 23, it is 128, it is 233. Can any one of you tell me the next number?
338.
Yes, 338. Yes, 338. How to get 338? 233 plus 105. And dot. You can cross check this, and you will see that it satisfies the problem. Okay. So we'll see the next more few examples on the Chinese remainder theorem. This is important CRT. Questions are definitely asked on this. Okay. So we'll see some examples on this, as well as we'll see some examples on Euler's theorem. Okay. Priyanka is there? Attendance हो गया? Yes, CR, Pranav.
यस सर.
अटेंडेंस हो गया क्या?
नहीं पता सर, प्रियंका मैम है बट कुछ रिप्लाई नहीं कर रही. मैं स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेता हूँ सबका.
अच्छा ठीक है, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो, या फिर अच्छा ठीक है, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो और प्रियंका मैम को भेज देना. प्रियंका मैम का नंबर है ना तुम्हारे पास?
नहीं सर, मैं सर से मांग लूंगा.
ठीक है. ओके, किसी को डाउट है तो प्लीज आस्क मी. ओके, एंड द प्रॉब्लम्स विल टेक इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. अगर डाउट नहीं तो यू कैन लीव. 1 मिनट रुको, पहले स्क्रीनशॉट लेने दो. मेरे ख्याल से शुभम के पास है नंबर प्रियंका का.
हाँ सर, भेज दिया.
हाँ भेज देना. हाँ ठीक है.
हाँ सर, डन.
ओके, इफ यू डोंट डन ना. ओके, यू विल लीव. थैंक यू.
Sir,
हाँ
सर ये जो सम दिया ना अभी आपने सीआरटी का,
हाँ
सर मैंने
हाँ।
सम किया, मुझे मतलब एक सारा वैल्यू लिखना है कि मतलब अगर एक वैल्यू आए तो भी चलेगा?
फिर से बोलो, रिपीट।
सारा वैल्यूज लिखना है कि एक वैल्यू भी चल जाएगा?
हाँ हाँ, नहीं, डिपेंड्स अपॉन what type of questions they ask. If they want the different values of x, then you have to show 2 or 3 values. And if they are asking the value of a single x, then you can directly show 128, which you have got here.
तो ये
This
बोल रहा
one.
सर अभी। हाँ तो मैंने पहले किया था एक्सकल 23 में वही आया था, तो
हाँ
सीआरटी मैंने किया है, तो सीआरटी मतलब थोड़ा सा और एक इजियर टेक्निक यूज किया था मैंने, तो
हाँ,
वो
तो चलेगा। अल्टीमेटली मेरा गोल ये है कि मुझे x ऐसी वैल्यू चाहिए जो तीनों भी कंडीशन को सेटिस्फाई करती है। तो मैं x 128 आया by using the Chinese remainder theorem. This is by using the Chinese remainder theorem.
हाँ
Okay,
सर
I
वो
have
मैं
got.
सीआरटी से किया है मैंने, मैं आपको अपना वो मेथड बता देता हूँ।
हाँ हाँ, चलेगा।
सर फिर मैं आपको नंबर पे
That is different from this method.
नहीं, हाँ सीआरटी से थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है, और वो मतलब थोड़ा कैसा फटक से आंसर आता है।
Okay, okay, no
तो
problem.
एक्चुअली नंबर थ्योरी मैंने पढ़ा है, तो मैं सीआरटी चाइनीज रिमेंडिंग थ्योरम में एक प्रिमिटिव मॉड्यूलो करके आता है, उसी का
हाँ
पार्ट
हाँ
है इंटर थ्योरम का।
हाँ,
तो वही
ओके ओके।
अप्लाई किया तो फिर 4 स्टेप्स के 5 स्टेप्स में आंसर आ जाएगा आपको फटफट।
ये ठीक है, लेकिन सी डिपेंड्स अपॉन कि वो क्वेश्चंस कितने मार्क्स के लिए पूछा जाता है,
नहीं
बिकॉज
नहीं,
यू हैव टू शो द स्टेप्स ओनली। आपको स्टेप्स पता है कि आपको आंसर लाना है, बट आपके स्टेप्स में कम इसमें आ रहा है, तो देन यू हैव टू सी दैट फॉर हाउ मेनी मार्क्स द क्वेश्चन इज अप।
सर वो